Have you considered a Revv1 DRT? If so, I'm going to tell you today 5 things that I like about this bike and 5 more things I don't like about this bike. So stay tuned for the review of this DRT. Suspension. The suspension is great on this thing. Honestly, I've always been the biggest fan of the suspension on this bike. You got the NMD, your rear shock, and you got your RST in the front. Great combo in my opinion. So the suspension and the seat, I would say, make the perfect combination, because I'll ride most of the time sitting down and the suspension does most of the work, but the seat is so soft it absorbs everything along with the suspension. Like right now, I'm sitting down this whole time. Quite bumpy, not terrible, but definitely not something I would sit on if I had my old e-bike, which was a hardtail. Is the brakes. You will stop in a dime. There's been times where a car cut me off. Actually, quite a few times that happened. And the brakes are just like, they're great, dude. They'll stop you when you need to stop. You see that? Oh my god. Here we can test not only this way, not only the suspension, the seat, but the brakes as well. This is actually really freaking steep up ahead. I mean, it's steep right now too, but it's getting it done. I'm going slow. Dude, look at that. That is a freaking wall we're about to go down. Oh shit, we are gonna go down. Holy crap. Okay. Well, we can't bitch out or it'll be worse. Yo. Dude, that was scary. I was puckering my cheeks. So yeah, shout out to the brakes and the suspension and the seat. So this one's kind of in both categories, and it's the headlight. The headlight is absolutely terrible at night, but it's not bad enough to where cars can't see you. They can actually see me really good with this headlight. And the tail light too. It actually shines pretty nice. Once you press on the brakes, it'll get brighter, you know, just like a car. And it's amazing because sometimes I'll hit them slowly just so cars can see me in the nighttime. So not just the lights, but also what has saved me a couple times is the horn. It's not the loudest, but people have heard it, so that's one good thing about it too. Something else I like a lot is the tires. I feel like the tires alone... Whoa! Oh, shit, dude. The seat hit my ass so fast, I could have nosedived if that jump was bigger. What was I even talking about? Oh, the tires! So check it out. Look how big these tires are. They also work really well with the suspension, the seat, and how knobby they are. I mean, in the dirt, which it's a DRT, I ride it a lot in the dirt. It holds up. You know, going fast in turns, stuff like that. Never got in punctures on these two. Actually, okay, so this is a weird one. I went riding with a friend once, and he's the one that got a flat, but it wasn't until like 2 days later that the bike was completely flat after not touching it after that trip. But what happened too is my buddy got caught in some barbed wire. So I don't know. I even put air on that tube and it's still holding air till this day in my closet. So I don't know. That was a weird one. Don't know what happened there. They're pretty great when preventing punctures. Oh, I've actually ridden over glass quite a few times. Oh, boost mode. I almost forgot to talk about that. Boost mode will save you in a lot of situations. Like when you're in traffic and you just want to, you know, speed up, get away from danger. That, along with off-road mode, is such a great combination. Because with the boost mode, you're taking off fast. And with the off-road mode, you can reach a top speed of 36 miles per hour. That's the most common one for me. I've hit 38, but I did have like a crazy amount of air in my tires, which I didn't really like. And for 2 more miles, I'd rather stay at 36. So yeah, look at that. We're just zooming through here. 26, so it's not even full speed and it feels crazy fast. But it is a trail, so, you know. Okay, now, what I don't like about this bike, and this is the one that was in both categories, which is the headlight. It'll save you at nighttime because people can see you, but it might not save you if you don't see something on the road, which I've hit a couple of potholes on the road. Thank God for the suspension though, because that's, I think, what ultimately saved me from eating it on the road. Imagine like going 36 miles an hour and you just
and get pitted.
the uphills. This thing kind of struggles with the uphills. Check this out. We're on boost mode, off-road mode. We're going, we're going. But eventually it gets tired if this was a longer hill. See, it's like slowly decreasing. So once we're at the top, it's perfect timing because, you know, we're done with the hill. But it does get tired. It slows down. You know, it's an off-road bike, but it's not really great on the uphills. I mean, it's a lot better than a lot of bikes out there. So let's give it some credit, you know, but yeah. If you're trying to haul ass up a hill, you know, you just got to choose the right hill. The batteries. So we have a 52 volt battery here, which is, you know, it's, oh, hey, what a, hey. Anyways, it's a 52 volt battery and, you know, it's good. It gets the job done. But with a bike as fun as this, you always want to have more battery. And with the way that the frame is designed to fit the battery perfectly, it's like, I wish I could fit a bigger battery on there. Who knows if you can, but I mean, I haven't seen it done and I think it's for a reason. If anyone could do it, it's probably Mr. Central Driver. And when you're going through stuff like this, your battery will suffer because it's working harder, or the bike is just working harder. You know, you gotta really limit yourself to some of the fun stuff because you only got so much battery. Whoa! So, on off-road mode, I've done a test before. You get about 25 miles with boost mode and off-road mode turned on, and if you're doing some serious on-road and off-road, you know, that's not bad. But it's as much as like mini pit bikes. Okay, for the last two that I don't like, I saved the bigger ones. These are a huge deal to me, honestly, and they have been the deal breaker for me, sadly, because, and I say sadly because this bike is honestly really freaking good. For the price, you get insane components and specs, right? But I think the problem is because it's, you know, named a DRT, people expect a lot more from that, and that includes myself. I think at the beginning you guys saw me compare this a lot to a Surron, and I feel like it's really unfair to do that because this bike is far from being as good as a Surron. But for the price, I don't think there should be any complaints, especially for a pedal bike. Which is great because then you can ride it legally on the streets, and you know, cops have stopped me, they've asked me about it, and as soon as they see the pedals they're like, ah, you're fine. They don't even bother checking for off-road mode or boost mode, whatever. Either way, they don't care either. But yeah, it's a great bike to have a lot of fun and still stay out of trouble. The last two, and that would be the controller. This bike needs a better controller so badly in order for it to be absolutely amazing. And the reason is because I've taken this on, like I said, long rides. I like doing long rides, especially off-road, but when there's uphills, which this bike could struggle with off-road, it tends to overheat the controller, so then you're just kind of left stranded wherever you are because it'll eventually just stop responding on the throttle. Oh, look at that. Whee! So yeah, it'll stop responding. The controller will completely kill the bike on you. It'll still be on, but it's not gonna go. You gotta give it about 5 minutes, at least in my experience, in like 92-degree weather. Gave it 5 minutes, kept riding after that. So yeah, the controller. Now here is the main one for me, and this one was the one that killed the deal for me. It's gonna hurt to say this, but if you've kept up with my Instagram, you will know that this bike already died on me completely. And I'll put the clip right here. So what happened was the gears in the motor completely destroyed. And this happened on flat ground, as you can see by the video. And it just sounded like a freaking train. And then after that, it just completely got worse within minutes. You know, I was leaving work and I had to get home somehow. And this thing is 92 pounds, so good thing I quickly realized I was not going to make it home. Went back to work and ditched the bike there. But I contacted Ride1Up about it. They were super cool about it. They showed me what it was, which is the planetary gears, which are made out of nylon. So those went out. He said that's a common thing on hub motors, which I had no idea, actually. But that's the biggest deal breaker, because if it's a common thing on these bikes with hub motors, why put a hub motor on an off-road bike? Because it's gonna take a beating. I mean, look at this. River rocks, bumpy uphills. You know, it's a DRT. I want to ride it in the dirt. What a beautiful trail. So yeah, like, I had to spend, well, I mean, it was only a week, luckily. I only spent a week without the bike. And like I said, Ride1Up was amazing about it. So thank you. Shout out to Ride1Up. But after that, dude, honestly, I think it's time to say bye to this bike. I want to probably try to sell it, move on to something bigger. And by bigger, I mean better, like a Surron Talaria Eride. I don't know. We will see. Whatever is the best deal. So, yeah. And honestly, man, God, this looks like such a great bike. It looks so good. I think the looks of it is one of the main things that sold me right away before I even hopped on the bike. It looks amazing. So I'm gonna be really sad to see it go, but I'm gonna be really excited for what's ahead. Which is, you know, with a bike like a Surron or Talaria, dude, I'm gonna be able to catch up with the homies. Rar, if you're watching this, Chris, I want to come ride with you guys finally. I've just been afraid to because, you know, and look, I'm pedaling uphill, that's why. It's just a DRT with limits. So that is my full opinion. Ask away if you have more questions. Alright guys, that concludes this one. If you like that, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you want to know about it and I can answer it there. Because, I don't know, there's just so much to talk about with this bike. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one.